All right, in this video, I'm going to be doing the part of Notes 3 that deals with multiplying and dividing fractions. I'll have a separate video for simplifying radicals that you can see across the bottom here. In the last video on adding and subtracting fractions, we spent a bunch of time doing least common multiple, rewriting fractions, doing all the things, and then we could add or subtract. Multiplying and dividing, many less steps, all right? So I'm going to show you two ways to deal with multiplying and dividing fractions, specifically with multiplication. So in problem number 3, part A, you've got 2 over 3 times 6 over 7. And the first thing, which is my favorite thing with multiplying, you do not need a common denominator, period, which is awesome. What we can do is one of two things. One, we can multiply straight across first and then reduce, or we can look to see if we can cancel anything. I kind of drew the X, but you cancel things in the numerator with things in the denominator, and oftentimes it is on that kind of diagonal piece. For the first part here, for this particular problem, I'm going to go ahead and just multiply first. So that means I am simply going to multiply 2 times 6, I get 12. And I'm going to multiply 3 times 7, I get 21. That is, the multiplication is done. However, I do want to now reduce my fraction. And I know 12 and 21 are both divisible by 3. So 12 divided by 3 makes 4, 21 divided by 3 makes 7. That is the final reduced answer. Okay, so you can multiply first and then reduce. 100% that is accurate, works. Okay, that's part A. Now, part B has division. I don't care how good you are at math, nobody ever divides fractions. What you do is you keep the first fraction the same, so 5 over 8. We're going to change division to multiplication. So I'm going to use my little multiplication dot. And then we're going to flip this second fraction over. The mathematical term for this is you are multiplying by the reciprocal. Whoops, right with a pen. So that's going to be 4 over 3. Okay. So we don't divide fractions. You multiply by the reciprocal. Sometimes teachers refer to this as keep, change, flip. Fine. However you're going to remember it. Now, I could do what I did in part A, which is to multiply straight across and then look to see if I have anything that I can cancel or reduce. I'm going to do it reversed. I'm going to see if I can reduce first and then I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to look at 5 here. Can 5 divide into 8 or 3? The answer is no. So I'm going to move on to the other number in my numerator, which is 4. Can I divide something out of 4 and also out of 8? And the answer is yes. I can divide both of those by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. If I do 8 divided by 4, that's 2. And that's basically as reduced as I can make it. Now I can multiply across using smaller numbers. So 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 3 makes 6. My final answer is going to be 5 over 6. So that's for part B. When you're dealing with division, we're going to first of all turn it into a multiplication problem. And then I, as you saw, reduced my fractions first. Then I multiplied. All right, well, what happens in part C if you have multiplication and you have division? Well, let's get rid of the division first. So I've got 4 over 9 times 3 over 5. Now I'm going to change to multiplication. So times, and I'm going to do the reciprocal of 2 over 7. Big word, flip the fraction over. Now what I want to look to do is to see if I can simplify any of these numerator values with any of these denominator values. And the first pair I notice is I've got the 4 here and 2 here. both of those are divisible by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Let's do the same thing with, let's say, 3 and 9. Both of those are divisible by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 7 is not going to divide into anything in the denominator. So at that point, it looks like I'm pretty well done. So what I do at this point is multiply across the numerator and then multiply across the denominator. So across the numerator, I have 2 times 1 times 7, so that's going to be 14. Across the denominator, I have 3 times 5 times 1. That is going to be 15. So 14 over 15, and that one is now done. All right, so that's part C, multiplying and dividing. It's a combination of both, so turn it all into multiplication. And I would highly recommend simplifying first. I can do 2 times 1 times 7 in my head pretty quickly. Trying to do 4 times 3 times 7 in my head, not going to go so well, very honestly. And then dealing with 9 times 5 times 2, not exactly the smallest numbers in the world to work with. All right, last but not least for this video, let's deal what happens when you have mixed fractions. Whether you're trying to do multiplication or division, you want to turn these fractions into improper fractions. So whole number times the denominator, so 3 times 2 is 6, add on that numerator, that's going to be 7 over 2. And I'm going to leave this as division for right now, not for long, but we're going to leave it there for right now so that I can do this improper to, or mixed improper conversion first. So whole number times denominator. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 3 makes 11. So this one's going to be 11 over 4. Now I can do the conversion to multiplication. So 7 over 2 times 4 over 11. Keep the first fraction alone, the same. Change division to multiplication, flip, or the reciprocal of that second fraction. Now I'm going to look to see if I can cancel anything. 7 isn't going to divide into anything with 2 and 11 in common. However, 4 and 2 will. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then I am going to simply, I say simply, but just multiply straight across. So 7 times 2 makes 14. 1 times 11 is 11. So 14 over 11 is the final answer for part D there, as far as 3 1/2 divided by 2 3/4. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns about multiplying and or dividing fractions, including how to convert from mixed to improper fractions to work with those. In my next video, I'll deal with the simplifying of radicals.